welcome! I'm Jade, and today I'm going to be doing a cozy little book haul for you guys. I have not been posting regularly, and I'm aware of that. The problem is I've actually been filming pretty regularly, but my work schedule and my editing schedule has just not been mixing well, so I'm really sorry. I have quite a few videos that I'm editing right now, but this one is going to take precedence because I can't show you my new studio until I show you the books I got. So we're doing a book haul first, then we're doing a room tour. We're also doing a day in the life of an ALT, as well as a furniture shopping video. So there's a lot coming out, and I'm so sorry for the delay. Speaking of delays, I do want to talk real briefly about today's sponsor, Ana Luisa. I've worked with Ana Luisa before, and I always have such an amazing experience. You may have noticed I'm wearing a very dainty little necklace right here, as well as a moon pendant necklace, which I absolutely adore. I'm also wearing the first bracelet I think I've ever owned, which is a really simple opal on a thin gold chain. I've gotten compliments every day I've worn this bracelet. As I've said, I have worked with Ana Luisa before, and I continue to work with them because they're 100% carbon neutral, both in their product and their packaging. The jewelry themselves always come in these really nice quality cloth bags that are completely reusable, and then just a cardboard box. I know many people might not be impressed by cardboard boxes, but having their main focus being carbon neutrality is really important to me. So every time they ask me back, I always say yes. I like their products and I like the message they're sending. I would like more products to feel both elegant and affordable, as well as being carbon neutral. I will have links down below to all of the pieces I'm wearing and a link to my Instagram where I will have further close-ups. And right now they are running a sale for up to 40% off. So if you are getting ready and gearing for Valentine's Day, they have quick shipping and sales going on. You can use my code, which is a throwback to my old channel name, Jadedreader, down below, and it's already affordable, so now it's even more so. I'm also just impressed that they reach out to me at all. I'm a really small creator, and I have been since they have begun working with me, and they have never treated me as such. They have always just treated me like any other representative, and that's always super appreciated. Like the fact that they come back and ask me to work with them each time is just super nice. Every representative I've worked with is really welcoming and kind, trying to make sure I feel comfortable with the products, with what I'm saying. I'm never having to be scripted, which is really cool. And yeah, just overall, I like the company as much as I like the products, and they're always coming up with something new. So it's been exciting to watch them grow and change over time. And if you are buying some jewelry this time of year, I highly recommend Ana Luisa. But let's not have any further delays. Let's get into the book haul. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me. And I will get into my first book, which is actually a picture book. It is the only picture book on this list, but I had to bring it up when I went to the Pokemon Center. I will have that video linked up above. I was super stoked to see this children's book of Pokemon. It's completely in Japanese, but I am working on reading it. It's all in hiragana because that's what children can read, and that's all I can read. So there is this really beautiful art style, and it's all Pokemon related, and it's some sort of story that I am making my way through. I am only able to read picture books right now, but I'm excited at how much I am able to understand of it. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this book up because it was only $12 or 1,200 yen, a complete and total steal considering how expensive the Pokemon Center was. Don't know what this book is about yet, but I'm working on it. Next up, I'm super excited that this got added to my haul. This is Night of the Raven, Dawn of the Dove by Rati Marotta, and I will actually put the official cover right here because this is the manuscript. I saw the official cover on Twitter and was like, wow, I'm super digging this cover. What's the book about? Looked into it, absolutely loved the synopsis, and followed all of the author's stuff so I could make sure I knew when it was coming out. Lo and behold, the next day she hosted a giveaway in which I just needed to follow all of her accounts. I've never won like anything ever, and when I won this book, it made my entire day. What caught my interest besides the beautiful cover is the fact that this is a story about a royal bodyguard. It has academics, magic, political games, and royal intrigue, as well as monsters, and it's all set in medieval India. I've never read a book like this. I read the first page and I want to read the second, the third, the fourth, all the way through. through. I also want to get the official edition because this is the uncorrected bound manuscript. And that final cover is calling to me. Then we have For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. I believe that this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. The first daughter always takes the throne. The second is For the Wolf. This is a girl named Red. When she's sent into the woods, she finds out quite a few things, including the fact that the wolf is indeed a man. There is a curse on her kingdom, and she has the chance to bring her old gods back that have been imprisoned. It's on my winter TBR, and now I have it physically, so I can get started very soon. This is way larger than I thought it was going to be, but this is Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I picked up Little Thieves specifically because people who were not especially interested in Margaret Owen's other series, The Merciful Crow, did end up really liking Little Thieves. They said that this is kind of when Margaret Owen hits her stride, and I am intrigued because there were so many things I liked about The Merciful Crow, enough that I ended up making an entire video dedicated to it, but there were so many things that I was really frustrated with in the world building, so I'm hoping that this all comes together in Little Thieves and that I enjoy it a lot more. What is Little Thieves about? Luckily, the back of the book actually has a description of what's going on inside of the book. It says, once upon a time, there was a beautiful, kind princess and her wicked maid. One day, the wicked maid stole the princess's face, and with it her name, her betrothed, everything. When the maid was caught, she died for her crimes, and the princess lived happily ever after, or that is how the story has been told. Now it's time for the wicked maid to tell her side of the story. So this is a Goose Girl retelling, and I have never read a Goose Girl retelling, but I am familiar with the original tale, so I'm very excited to see what Margaret Owen does with this, and yeah, the cover is also beautiful. It totally got me. Speaking of gorgeous covers, this is The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. I already read this. I read it the moment it came in. I can tell you definitely what this is about. It was also on my 5-star prediction list, and I'm very proud to say it met that expectation. This was a phenomenal read. Our main character is ferocious and opinionated. She's crafty and ambitious. She grows up in a small village surrounded by magic, but she herself does not have magic. Therefore, when a sacrifice to the woodsman must be made, instead of giving away one of their precious magic users, they give away our main character, Eva Kay, instead. Eva Kay is then transported to the kingdom in order to be sacrificed. You can't have a carriage being transported to a kingdom through a wood without the carriage being attacked, and that's exactly what happens, leaving her and her nemesis, the woodsman who captured her, to battle through the woods together and possibly end up having a common goal. There was so much good about this book, but it did make my best books of 2021 list, and it's a pretty solid review, so I'll go ahead and stick that up there so you can watch that later, and we're moving on. I am in the middle of reading Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is my first Silvia Moreno Garcia book, but I have so many books of hers on my TBR, including on my Libby library. I have, I think, 2 of her books that I'm waiting to read, so I was really excited to find out that I love her writing. Gods of Jade and Shadow has completely blown away my expectations, and my expectations were pretty dang high because this was also on my 5-star predictions list, and it takes place in the 1920s Mexico jazz era, while also being about a woman and a death god who have to go on a journey to find his missing body parts so he can retake his kingdom. Just all of the scenery is so beautiful, and the story is told in third-person omniscient, but I feel really connected to the characters and the story as a whole. I kind of wish I would have gotten the hardcover, but the paperback was on sale on Book Depository, so I caved, and I'm still happy with it because it's portable and I can take it places. Another book I already read and really enjoyed, A Gathering of Shadows, is the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic, which I was completely okay towards and then had an urge to pick up the second one. Loved it, bought it physically. This is the special edition with art on the inside, which is always super fun. It also has a bookmark that comes along with it, and I'm always a sucker for this because I cannot keep hold of my bookmarks. They always disappear. Don't know where all of my bookmarks are, and I have like 40 of them. Yes, very excited for this. Definitely need to pick up the third one because I've already read it, but I need it physically. This was a loan. I didn't actually purchase this book, but since moving to Japan, I have made friends. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I pulled it off, but I did. And I made friends that like books. So I was loaned Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I have been wanting to pick up an Aiden Thomas book for a really long time, and when I mentioned this to my friend, she was like, hey, guess what? I totally have Cemetery Boys, the one you want to read most. And I'm super stoked about it. Cemetery Boys follows a boy named Jadedreader who accidentally summons a ghost and cannot get rid of him. He is growing up in a traditional Latinx family and they are unaccepting or having trouble accepting his gender, so he is trying to prove himself, and in that somehow he ends up summoning a ghost. But as I mentioned before, he's not able to easily get rid of this ghost and instead must help him solve the murder of this ghost, have them both get what they want. I don't know much more about this book, I just know it's highly praised, highly adored, and has trans representation, which I'm always looking for in books, so thank you to my friend, thank you to Aiden Thomas, and I'm looking forward to reading it. This beautiful book is Redemptor by Jordan Ofueko, and it is the sequel to Ray Bear by Jordan Ofueko. I absolutely adored this book. This was bottled sunshine and happiness, found friendships, and magic. Our main character is growing up isolated with her mother, who is a cruel, cold woman who sends her to the palace to become a companion to the prince. They create like the council there. Unfortunately, she's also sent her to kill her new best friend, and that just spirals out of control because our MC is actually half Jinn, so her mother is literally able to control her. This book is freaking gorgeous. I would have bought this even if I didn't know what Ariadne was about, which is a Greek mythology retelling. This is by Jennifer Saint, and it is Ariadne's story following the events of the Minotaur, which lives beneath her palace. And when Theseus comes to slay the Minotaur, she decides she sees not only someone who's not bad to look at, but her escape. And when I saw this cover on Book Depository, I mean, it's here physically with me, so obviously, you know what, I just bought it. Another gorgeous cover, because I have to be real choosy right now with which books I buy because I'm buying them all online and they take about a month to get to me. This is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. I have read Rebecca Ross's books before and really enjoyed them. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and the inside flap says that every new moon, magic flows from the nearby mountains and brings nightmares to life. Only magicians who serve as territory wardens stand between people and their worst dreams. Clementine is ready to follow in her father's footsteps as the warden of Hearswith, even though she yearns to study the wilder side of magic. This ends up being a story about revenge, magic, magicians, and just finding your path. I'm picking it up and hoping I enjoy it. After that is a book I definitely enjoyed. This is a book I read for Draconathon, and I will go ahead and link the video up above where I review it in a Draconathon dragon-themed wrap-up, so if you like dragon books, I have plenty of content for you on that. Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim is a favorite of mine. I absolutely adore Elizabeth Lim's writing. She really does know how to bring a story to life and make it feel both whimsical and cozy while taking these people on grand adventures. Six Crimson Cranes is no exception. Our main character is growing up in a palace and she is meant to marry a prince, but instead she ends up hanging out with a dragon, misses her wedding date, a curse is placed upon her and her brothers, and she has an acorn placed on her head, disguising her and turning her brothers into cranes. One of her brothers will die for each word she utters, and the entire point of this book is her trying to lift the curse. Lovely little sibling dynamics and grand adventures with dragons. You really can't go wrong, so yeah, I bought it. Oh, Jesus. All of them just fell. My final book was actually a recommendation by my friend Madison at Princess of Paperback. I will have her link down below because I trust almost everything she recommends me because she's fantastic and knows my exact taste in books. This is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan, and it is about a girl whose mother is the goddess of the moon, and she grows up on the moon and is then cast down to Earth, where she finds out her mother was actually exiled by the Celestial Emperor for stealing the elixir to immortality. The fact that this is about a moon goddess's daughter in a celestial empire is just perfect for me. I love all of that stuff, so this was a shoo-in for me. It was an easy purchase. I've seen that there are other gorgeous covers of this book out there, so again, you really can't go wrong with these covers when looking at Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Of course, my battery died right at the end. That is it for my book haul. Thank you so much for watching. A quick reminder that I do have a link down below with Ana Luisa. It honestly feels like I'm wearing stardust all over me because it's the moons and stars and little opals. Even if you want to browse for future purchases, it is helpful for me and I think a good use of your time. Speaking of use of your time, if you liked this video, you can go ahead and like it. If you dislike it, I'll never know, but regardless if you do or not, I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye! You can use my code. What is my code? You can use my code that I will know in a second here. I mean, I even sport a wedding ring from Ana Luisa because I wanted something really simple and understated. I'm not huge on the whole marriage thing. I shouldn't be telling people that. Whatever, shop at Ana Luisa.